Hello! Risk of Rain 2. Again. This time we're playing as Rex, a robot with a plant on his back. Interesting move pool. This one really caught my attention recently. Basically, all of his moves either replenish his health or use his health. In a sense, you're using his health as your ammo and using alternate moves to try and gain it back so you can use more ammo, or health really. His primary move is a little 3-shot. The third one heals you and weakens your enemies. His secondary is a mortar that uses around 15% of your health, I think. Might be 10%. His utility is a little force push like a rocket jump, although I have switched it up with the unlockable one, which basically lets you do it more often. It uses up some health, doesn't weaken them as it should, and damages enemies, but heals you if you hit people. I don't see why you'd pick anything else. Really adds to the whole risk and reward factor. As you can see here, he's got quite a bit of damage going on. That's just natural, really. He's either killing everyone around him, or dead. That move where I'm shooting roots out takes about 25% of my health away, but for every person it grabs, I get some health back. So it's, investments, sacrifices, reward, risks, rain. See, there we go. And I've earned quite a bit of health back in a steady, accumulative fashion. You've really got to calculate what's best to use and when. But the interesting thing is, the 10% or 25% of isn't 25% of your entire health pool, it's 25% of your current health pool. So you'll find the less health you have, the less of it you're using to attack. Which goes without saying, you'll be able to attack a lot more than you normally would think you would. So, killed the boss quite quickly, decided to rush to the teleporter, and just need to wait for it to charge. I noticed before there are some items on this run that I'm really keen on getting. A big factor with Rex is that you've sort of got to be lucky with the items you get, more so than other characters. He doesn't need healing so much because he has that inbuilt function, and the fungus doesn't work because if you stand still you're going to die. And the cautious slug doesn't work because you're never really out of danger because you're constantly hurting yourself. The only thing that really does you any good is the medkit and maybe the raw meat, stuff like that. The medkit heals you when you damage yourself, which obviously is a really good thing for this character. It's basically the only character it's any good on. But right now we got some decent attacking moves. I'm deciding here whether to pick the one that makes me invulnerable to damage. Very small chance of that happening. And the one that gives me critical hits. Hard decision. I decided to go for the riskier strategy. I think that's the theme of this run. Completely useless. Lets me attack ever so slightly faster. Once in an encounter. Still, good haul, can't complain. 3 very good items. Now once again, the strategy is going to be rush directly to the teleporter, use the money we've earned to mop up all the chests, or at least the ones I fancy getting, and then be on my way. Speed is really important on this. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Probably said that before. You might not have seen that video. It's rude of me to assume you have, to be honest. Another syringe and another pair of glasses. Both are extremely useful. The syringes let me shoot my primary more, which lets me heal more, but the glasses let me crit more, making my secondary more viable. Hard to decide. Well, I went with the glasses. Another important aspect to Rex is that he needs movement options. It might seem like I'm super powerful now, but that's just because there's a very reasonable amount of enemies around. If I ever need to run away, well, in this state I wouldn't have much luck of that. And another syringe. An extremely lucky run. Most characters use syringes to decent effect, except the Artificer, and arguably Acrid. Stone Titan. Might seem like a problem, but we're taking him down so quickly it really doesn't matter. The crits, and I think the crowbar as well, are giving us a lot of damage up front. He doesn't really have time to do anything. And he's dead. While that may have taken too long, we're safely onto stage 3 with a pretty good haul of items. Even got a double jump. Which is great because right now Rex can't get down from anywhere without hurting himself. Straight to the teleporter. This'll be a fast one. The magma worm might seem like a problem, but he's really quite easy, at least for Rex, as long as you keep an eye on where he's landing and make sure not to get burned. You can just attack him from any distance, really. Rex's mortar is fast enough to hit him just about anywhere. And there's usually plenty of enemies you can get to heal. And a leeching seed. Absolutely fantastic for Rex. Seeing as his health is ammo and his health is health, having more health is fantastic, and leech seed lets you steal health from the people you attack. Managed to get even more glasses, giving us even more of a chance to crit. It's 10% per each pair of glasses you have, so 3 pairs of glasses means you get 30% chance to crit, which is incredibly useful, obviously. It's definitely worth it. As you can see how fast this one's dying, that was a good example of how to use that utility skill. You can take down the jellyfish really quickly, and seeing as there's always a bunch of them, you get a ton of health back as well. Seems like I'm in a bit of a pinch, but I'm really not. As long as you keep an eye on your health and what the boss is doing and where all the enemies are, you should be fine. Looking at it now, I don't actually have any defensive items, so one strong hit could kill me. Now it looks like I haven't noticed the fact that the boss's health pool is only halfway down, and that there's another jellyfish behind me. No idea how long it takes me to notice. There he is. In an awkward position, so I just can't bombard him the way I did the other one. It's not too bad though, plenty of crits. Just a lot more enemies stopping me from making an impact. Still, he was never going to be a problem. Razor wire. Hurts enemies when you get hurt. Needed this pointing out to me, but it's incredibly good with Rex because he gets hurt all the time. So it's basically an additional attack for every attack you do. And we've looped back round to the first stage, although this one probably won't seem as familiar. They've added additional stages to the first lot of stages, so there's a lot more variety now. Fireworks! I got myself a firework thingy. Now every time I use something it sends out fireworks, which is about as good as it sounds. I'm hoping it sounds good, because it is. Moving fast, hitting hard, healing, just got absolutely no defense or any escape plan. But I do have the high ground. You might have noticed I'm hopping around like a bunny. That's because of the wax quail. Gives you a speed boost when you jump while sprinting. And I have 2 of them. So it's really worth doing. There's a beetle queen there. Might have been a good idea to kill it, just in case it causes a lot of enemies to swarm around me. But then, a lot of enemies is good because that means a lot of healing, so really just use your own judgment. Doing decent amount of damage. Avoiding his laser. Running right into another group of enemies, but we can heal fast enough. However, I'm being platooned, and I have no escape plan. No defense. Only damage. So when movement's taken away, what do I have?